Now, there's something about fear that needs exposed. There's something about self-preservation that we need to admit and get rid of. We got to stop trying to survive. Because if we're trying to survive, we'll never shine. And if we're trying to survive, it's all about me and my well-being instead of me and the manifestation of Christ. And you'll always feel threatened. And you'll always be uncomfortable and looking over your shoulder. And you won't be confident. He gave us dominion and told us to subdue, not be subdued by knowledge. Don't be subdued by another man's experience. Don't be subdued by science. Be subdued by him. Yeah? Let's take cancer, for instance. There's nobody in the room that hasn't been touched by cancer some way. Come on, you see the color of my hair. I can get away with talking about this stuff. I've been on the earth long enough. I'm not talking insensitive. I've lost dear friends to cancer. There's no one in this room that hasn't been touched by cancer in some way, shape, or form. So the strategy of these major diseases, which we all believe disease comes from the devil, the enemy, the fall of man, whatever we classify it, it doesn't come from the Lord. Now, there's some circles that believe God uses and subcontracts this stuff. I don't believe that at all. I believe I can prove it scripturally. It doesn't happen. So cancer, what's cancer's goal? Cancer's goal is to play on the sentiment of mankind, on the fear of man, on man thinking for himself, survival, preserving himself, and making it to the end, whatever that means. Longevity. So cancer's goal is to play the fear of man, to where we're actually living to avoid it, living to prevent it, living to escape it, living to avoid it, because people have this fear that they're going to sit in a room and one day have a doctor look at them and say that word. So cancer's goal is to become so powerful and cause so much loss, so much pain, so much study, so many facts, and so real that it becomes the name above every name. That men actually live to never run into that name. But then if we do, we try to grab the name that's supposed to be above every name and reduce the power of the finished work to a principle we're declaring because we're scared to death and hoping it works. And then when the person dies, we say, wow, we prayed. It can't be God's will to heal. Wow, we prayed. I wonder why he didn't. Wow, and now we got questions and no revelation. Are you guys okay? Fear never, ever, 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 ever is the kingdom of God, subverts authority, and you have no authority over what you fear. You can yell at it, you can scream at it, but it won't move if fear is your motive. Are you with me? We are not praying because we're scared to die. We're not praying because we're afraid they will die. We're praying because they're called to life, has a destiny to fulfill, and their days are too short to be dying. It's time to pray for the kingdom of God, not for well-being. Are you guys with me?